Here I am in Port Dickson, just rolling my bike out. Maybe run an errand, get some food, and I have a couple of GoPros mounted to record this event. Really hot day, very, very sunny. It's about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and there's a burger place in town that I wanted to try out for a while. I've ridden by it a number of times. It gets good reviews on Google Maps, and I thought, hey, let's go for a burger, and I may go for something else afterwards. But yeah, it's called, I think, Mient's Burger. And if Google Maps is not lying to me, then it should be open at 3 o'clock. So I should get there when it's open on a Friday. Other days of the week, it's open at 4, but on the weekends, starting at 3. So let's see what happens. It's a multi-stage process getting out, because you have to open and close the gate. Sometimes there's a padlock on it, sometimes not. I just follow whatever the family members do. So if they lock it up with the padlock, then I lock it behind me. But when I go out, if it's unlocked, then I just leave it unlocked. I do whatever it is they do. So yeah, so let's head off into Port Dickson. And just as a technical note, probably just for me, but maybe someone else will be interested in what's going on. I've got the GoPro Hero 12 mounted on the handlebars, pointing forward, and I have it in linear field of view with horizon lock. And this GoPro, the Hero 9, is mounted on a broomstick pointing out the front of the bike. The broomstick is tied to the frame of the bike, not to the handlebars, which I like, because then if I turn the handlebars like this, the GoPro doesn't move, because it's on the frame. It only moves with the frame of the bike. And I have the Rode Wireless Go attached to the Hero 12, attached to this Rode lavalier Go lavalier mic mounted on my shirt collar, and we'll see how that deals with the wind. So with all that out of the way, let's go for a short little ride, see how this works out. Yeah, I was out walking around Port Dickson the other day, thinking about buying a mop or a broom so that I can take the broomstick and mount it on my bike for my GoPro. But then I happened to find a broomstick in the garbage. So I just, because the broom wore out, but the broom handle was still attached. So I just snagged it. Though it isn't actually the best one, I've discovered, because it's a hollow aluminum tube. And if I tighten one of my clamps down on it really hard, it'll just crush the tube. It's better to get a broomstick that's solid, you know, made of wood or something like that. Yeah, lately I've been doing a lot of walking. I haven't been using the bike that much. It's not that far from my house to downtown Port Dickson, particularly the places that I normally go to. Sometimes it's even more trouble than it's worth to get the bike ready to go there. But when you're this hamburger place, Mient's, it's a little bit further away, so it makes sense to use the bike. And I may stop off at a hardware store. Or actually, I may stop off at a small bicycle shop, because I've got ongoing kickstand issues. I bought a kickstand here the other day at a bike shop, and the guy at the bike shop, he looked at my bike and says, "Oh, it's a heavy bike." And I says, "Yeah, it's a pretty heavy duty bike." So he says, "Okay, you need a heavy duty kickstand." He went in the back room and brought out this a style of kickstand that I needed, because it doesn't just attach to one tube on your frame, it attaches to two of them across a triangle and makes for a much stronger connection. So, oh yeah, that's the kind I want, that's the style, right? So we put it on the bike. I rode my bike back to my room, put the bike inside the room and just sort of fiddled with it a little bit. And as soon as I moved the bike, the entire kickstand like bent like a pretzel. I mean, it's made out of thin plates of steel, and when you're holding it in your hands, it's like, whoa, heavy duty. Feel how heavy this steel is. But thin steel is still steel, and you can bend it pretty easily. And when you apply the torque of a kickstand on a heavy bike to that steel plate, it just bent like a pretzel. So I was like, oh, for Pete's sake, there's a 35 ringgit I'll never see again. It's just a piece of junk, basically. And that's when I'm using it without a touring load. I mean, if I had all of my touring gear on the bike, camping equipment and tools, the bike would be much heavier. And if I tried to use that kickstand, it would just collapse. So it's no good at all. But I did manage to fix it a little bit, bending it back into shape. And then I figured out a way to attach another bolt to it that gave it some more rigidity. So I can use it a little bit riding around the city. But I thought maybe I can take my old kickstand and maybe get it repaired or something. Maybe they can weld it back together. And there's this little bike shop here that I glanced through the door the other day. And they had tons and tons of little nuts and bolts and spare parts. So far I don't see it though. Oh, okay, maybe this is it here. And I'll just show it to them and see what they say about it. Hello. Yeah, kickstand. Like aluminum.
No welding.
No welding? No.
Welding.
So I'm not surprised by that. He got out a big vice grip, attached it to the bolt, but he couldn't get it to budge. I'm pretty sure it's stuck in there forever. But then I showed him the frame of the kickstand as well. It's made out of thick aluminum. Oh yeah, there's a trail up ahead. And he knew what things were about. I'm no expert in this, obviously, but I know that aluminum is very difficult to weld. It takes specialized equipment and takes real skill to be able to weld aluminum. So he just took one look at it and he saw, okay, yeah, that's aluminum. There's nothing I can do with that. I looked for this kickstand online and I found it in some shops in the United States that they have it and they can ship it to me. But to ship it to Malaysia, shipping charge alone was $100. This is something I don't understand at all. Everybody talks about how airlines, like flying planes, has gotten cheaper and cheaper. Airline tickets are cheaper and cheaper. And yet when you try to mail anything around the world, it costs a fortune. I think everybody has experienced that, where you've got some little doodad worth $5 and you think, oh, I'll send this to my friend in Taiwan or something. He'll think this is funny or useful. And then you take your $5 gadget, bring it to the post office, and they want $8,000 to mail it to Taiwan. Why is shipping so expensive now? Yeah, it's amazing how difficult it is to cross the roads here in Port Dickson. The amount of traffic that goes down this main road is incredible. Just never really stops. So If you're on a motorcycle or a scooter, you can get up to speed and merge with the traffic. But on a bicycle, you can't really do that, so you have to wait for an opening. And in Port Dickson, there's almost never an opening. You end up waiting for quite a long time. Yeah, traffic coming from that direction is, non-stop. You might get a tiny opening in one direction, but then you're blocked by traffic from the other direction. It's very difficult to get a break in the traffic going in both directions. And then when you do finally get a break, someone turns from a parking lot or something right in front of you. There we go. The car was turning left there. Anyway, here is Mient's Burger. Hello. What time do you open? At 4 o'clock? Okay, thanks. Four o'clock. Yeah, Google Maps has the hours wrong. It says they're open at 3 on Fridays. But at least they do open. Maybe I can get some Rojak Ayam first. And then I'll get a burger after that. The other day, I went to this Rojak Ayam place, a Cendol place actually. And I was so excited. I went there at the right time of day, but not only were they not open, they weren't even there. I was so disappointed. I guess a couple of days a week, they take those days off, but I always manage to get it wrong. We'll see whether they're open today. They should be on a Friday. And I'm also doing a little bit of an overheating experiment with my various GoPros. I discovered recently that if you're shooting at a high frame rate, that in theory could add a lot to the heat. So the fact that I was always shooting in 50 or 60 FPS may have been the reason why my GoPro is so prone to overheating. And with the Hero 12, I don't really need to shoot in 60 frames per second. 25 or 30 is fine. So I did a test in my room, and when I reduced the frame rate to 25, it never overheated. In fact, the battery ran out of power before the camera overheated. So who knows, maybe it never would have overheated. Anyway, I've had the GoPros running ever since I left from my house, non-stop at 25 FPS. And I want to see whether they overheat or not. So far, I don't know how long it's been, but they're doing fine, and it's a pretty hot day. So yeah, if this is gonna work out, maybe I'll have Rojak. It's kind of a sweet dish, oddly enough. It actually, the tomato sauce is sweetened. It almost tastes like a dessert sometimes. So I can have dessert first. And then maybe after that, if I'm still hungry, I can go try one of their burgers. Because I really do want to try one of them out. Yeah, start heading into the weekend, so these places get really busy. And here's my my Cendol place. Hello. All right, here I am. There's actually a whole bunch of Cendol places in this parking lot. The one over there, well, I guess it's not there yet. There's usually one there at the very beginning of the parking lot, is very popular. And then there's another one right here. This is the one I usually go to, Cendol Top PD. So yeah, let's go order some Rojak Ayam. And Cendol. The tent has a little bit of a low structure, and I keep hitting my head. But yeah, such an amazing meal. I think right now it's my favorite. So I've been coming here a lot. So there's the Rojak Ayam. There's an egg, and it's very, very filling. Very generous portions, a lot of chicken, salad, sauce, tofu, and this is the seating for this here. Yeah, to be honest, it wasn't until quite recently that I even knew that these two dishes go together. I see them being served like at the same place all the time now, where you get Rojak and then they also make Cendol. They kind of come as a pair. And I've got my Cendol, and it is equally good here. Very generous portions as well. The red beans, the green noodles, and then the sweet coconut sauce with all of the shaved ice. It's amazing. It's like one of the best things you can get in Malaysia for my money. Rojak and Cendol, a match made in heaven. Let's dive into the Cendol first. It's so good. I don't have words, to be honest. It's just so refreshing on a hot day like this. It's incredible. I love it. The coconut flavor is the base of the whole thing. And I just love coconut so much, so it makes everything work. And it is quite sweet, as I said, so it's a bit of a dessert sort of thing. So good. And then the Rojak. Actually, when I was here the other day, I mentioned that this place just wasn't here. It's not like it was closed, because at the end of the day, they just get a truck and they fold up all the chairs and tables. They load everything onto the truck and they take it away. So there's nothing here when they're not here, but they were not here, so I couldn't get my usual. But then the other place, the one I mentioned, the one at the beginning of the parking lot, it was there and it was open. So I had their Rojak that day. And so far, I came back here because I find that this one is better. I find that this one is more to my taste, I guess. And they know me here, and it's less busy than the other one. I don't know everything that goes into this dish, to be honest. So I think that's tofu, but I wouldn't swear to it. And there seemed to be, like, there's salad in here too. There's like chopped up veggies. Then there's also some kind of, almost a kind of bread. There's a bread in here as well, but I don't know what you would call that. And then you have all the chicken. And how much chicken you get depends on the place where you go. As I said, I find that here they tend to be very generous with all their portions. Chicken and then boiled egg cut in half with the sweet tomato sauce. Very, very good. Kind of glad the burger place wasn't open yet, but I can have a burger for dessert maybe. I'm very hungry right now. So I've had my Rojak, and fascinatingly, as I was sitting there eating, I saw someone go by with a touring bicycle. So I was hoping he would turn into the parking lot, and he did. So I can show you his bike. I convinced him to try Cendol. There it is. There's a real touring bike covered in mud. I'm Douglas, by the way. My name, Douglas?
Yeah, Luca.
Luca? All right, nice to meet you. Are you carrying the extra rim just because you want an extra, or did it give out on you?
No, I ordered the wrong one.
Oh.
This is a new rim.
Okay.
I ordered the wrong one, so I'm thinking in Indonesia I will replace the front rim. It's kind of worn.
All right, so, okay.
It's still okay, but I have this rim. I couldn't return it, so.
Okay. Yeah, that's normally where all your camping gear would go, right? Your stove and everything, or?
Yeah.
It's kind of empty right now. You don't have anything in there.
No.
It's nice. All right. So look at me. I've got a caravan of cyclists now. Oh. Yeah, Luca, I was chatting with him over Rojak, and he came down through China, Thailand, into Malaysia, and then tomorrow morning he's taking the ferry to Sumatra. So that's kind of cool. Something I've done a couple of times. So we were chatting about the ferry trip and where he's going to go in Sumatra. And now I'm going to go see if this burger place is open. It's after 4 o'clock now. And Luca's going to join me there. It's right over there.
Bags you're traveling with?
Yeah.
Are they waterproof?
No, well, you got a waterproof cover, but they're a different style, more designed around pockets as opposed to the Ortlieb. I've gone back and forth with that over my life too. I really love pockets, so I got these ones originally, but then they're quite a bit heavier and they're not waterproof. So then I switched over to Ortlieb style, and I used those for a while, but I missed pockets. So then I went back to these ones, and yeah. So I made it to Mient, and they are open. So they opened at 4 o'clock. Here's the outside of the place. Mient's Burger. I don't know how long, oh, there it is. They've been open since 2011. So 13, 14 years old, this place. And yeah, classic burger joint. I think if you come later in the evening, the place is going to be jammed. They even have tables here at the outside. So they're expecting a lot of people on a Friday night in particular. But I'm always everywhere. I go everywhere early in the day when it's too early. But yes, this is the seating that they have here. And they have the QR code system that I like. And here's the place. Bright and cheerful. So the burger has arrived. I haven't tried it yet, but looks pretty interesting. I think it was 19 ringgit for, this was the beef burger, their beef burger special. French fries, and I don't know what that sauce is yet. A bit of coleslaw. And then Luca, what did you get, Luca? Do you remember yet?
Some kind of roti.
Some kind of roti, because Luca's a vegetarian, so he couldn't go for one of the burgers here, but that's what he got. And yeah, I'm about to dive into it, and I'll give you my verdict. I'm assuming it's going to be pretty good. French fry test. Yeah, I don't know what this is. Good fries, nice and crispy. I can live with that. Yeah, I don't know what that sauce is.
Yeah, this is sweet and sour, but
Yeah, I guess there is ketchup. Yeah, so there is, or maybe that's just chili sauce. Yeah, it's the Malaysian version of ketchup. It's like a chili sauce. And this stuff is more like a soy something or other. So, haha. Okay. Let's see if we can bite into that. Looks like I'm going to resorting to a knife and fork eventually, but let's take a bite like a real burger to start. Very soft and gooey, even the meat patty. Very soft and gooey. So I would call it a little bit like a Ramly burger. They have these burgers here in Malaysia called Ramly burgers. Very famous. It's like the local halal version of burgers, fast food burgers. And all the YouTubers who come to Malaysia, they all have to make a video trying the Ramly burger. But they're very gooey, like just so much sauce. And this is very much, it's a little bit like a bigger, meatier Ramly burger. So knife and fork to get through the rest of it. The one disappointment for me so far is I ordered a Coke from the menu, and on the menu it's a can, like a can of Coke. That's what I ordered. But this is more like water, like really watered down. It's like out of a tap or something. Yeah, it barely tastes like Coke at all. So it's not really Coke out of a can. It's like out of some kind of a dispenser, but it's, yeah, very, very watered down. But hey, can't have everything.
they have some Schwalbe tires. I started with them, but yeah, they go too worn, and it's very difficult to find them in countries like China.
Yeah, you'd have to have them shipped to you, I think. That would be the only way.
You're lucky you can find them.
Yeah. No, the really dumb thing is I gave this bike a complete overhaul. So these wheels are new, the rims are new. I had them specially made in Thailand from like a touring company. And then I bought the trailer. I bought new pannier bags. And right after I got all the new gear, the pandemic hit. So it was 2.5 years, couldn't go anywhere. Yeah, the bike, it was in storage in Kuala Lumpur, and I happened to be in Myanmar and Thailand when the borders closed. So I just stayed in Thailand for 2.5 years, waiting for the pandemic to end. And meanwhile, my bike was here, just rusting and falling apart. And
You have some good gears on the back.
yeah, that's for me. That's the most important thing. A really tiny one on the front,
Yeah.
and then as big as possible. If I could get one even this big, I would. I want the biggest. But because of my particular geometry, that's the biggest I could fit. That's the biggest I could get on it. and then a really tiny one, so going uphill. What about yours? Have you got like a power gear of any kind? No?
Just really simple.
Oh man.
Because I replaced it in Tajikistan, and I really didn't have. It was like the only choice I had. So.
Okay. Yeah, I couldn't do that.
It's really tough going up the steep hills.
God. I hope you can do it. I know I couldn't in Sumatra.
I can always push.
You can always push, but man, with this knee now, that gearing, there's no way I wouldn't survive. And on the front, do you have a granny gear? Oh, you got one more down there, okay. So you got kind of a small one at the front, eh?
Yeah.
But yeah, I always wanted to get a setup like this, but it couldn't fit on my bike for some reason. So I just ended up adding all these weird things, just, you know, here and here, just to give myself a couple other hand positions. But I've always wanted that kind of a handlebar.
Yeah, but I only use like this part.
Yeah, okay.
So it's basically a little bit similar than this, only it's like a little bit round, so you can also take it here.
Right, true, yeah. But yeah, this is probably my favorite position, is up here. You know, you can get up high and down low, but there are times I want even lower. But
I've seen people with like here in the middle.
Right, aero bars, yeah. Now for cycling, my biggest problem has always been the seat. I don't know what it is, my butt gets so sore, it's like in agony. And then even when like 20 years ago, 30 years ago, when I was in better condition, I could feel it, my legs. I could keep riding for another 100 miles, no problem, lots of energy, but my butt hurts so badly. I've tried every seat, like yours, big soft ones. I tried the leather ones, the Brook saddles. Everybody loves those, but they were the worst ones I ever tried. Every seat I've ever tried. I can get maybe 4 hours, 5 hours, maybe 4. But after that, I'm just in agony for the rest of the day. So I have to quit. Yeah, but yeah, that big chain ring, that's a lifesaver.
Yeah.
Without that,
Love it.
I couldn't go without that. And I love the new water bottles. You have the same style. Because in the old days, we didn't have those 1.5 liter bottles. They didn't exist. You had to have those like bicycle bottles, right? And they're too small.
They're way too small.
But I have room for 3 of them. One here, then one here. So you can start the day with 3 bottles like that. That's like 5 liters of water to start the day. It's amazing. But
I've always had problems with my rear wheel. Spokes just keep on braking and braking.
hence the trailer. That's why I started using a trailer. It takes all the weight off the bike. I put all the heavy stuff goes in the trailer. And the trailer, the wheels are in the center, so there's no weight on the bike at all. It doesn't transfer any weight to the bike. So I just got fed up with spokes braking.
I had like a new wheel in Turkey, and I really thought it was like 36 spoke one. So I blew up my tire in Thailand, so I had to get a replacement. The rim like cracked, and I was so convinced I had a 36. So just without thinking, I ordered 36 spoke wheel rim, and then the mechanic said me, "Hey, your hub is 32." So apparently I was riding with the 32 spokes.
No, if I remember, these should be 36, and the rims are like touring rims. They're very strong. I wanted to get stronger spokes than that, but at the time, these are the best I could get for both wheels. So,
My friend, I think, has the same also ride, and he had 0 spokes braking. But it's weird when you're like younger. And there's always a person sitting on the back, and the bicycle has 0 problems. Maybe the person is so much heavier, but maybe it's because it's like all the time.
yeah. The one thing that broke on my bike recently was the kickstand. I had a really strong one, and I snapped it off when I was putting it back on. I just bought this one like 2 days ago here in a shop, but it's just a piece of junk. It barely even holds up the weight of the bike. It's just like, I hate that thing. So I want to find a stronger one, but
Yeah, if you want to, but it can't be way too expensive. But mine is really good, and it's still the same as in the beginning.
right.
And with all the weight, and it's just a stand at the back. It's done a really good job, because my friend didn't buy one to begin with, and then
Oh yeah, there's my old one.
my friend didn't buy one to begin with and tried different stands throughout the journey, because it's so useful to have the stand.
Yeah.
But they all broke.
They all
so
okay.
he kind of gave up on it.
Yeah.
This is a steel one,
Yeah.
German made.
What brand?
Maybe.
Yeah, this is the classic setup that you have. The bags on the back, and then this Ortlieb cross. Almost everybody in the world travels with this rig. It's very popular. Everybody likes it.
Yeah, I think bikepacking is becoming like more popular.
Yeah.
Like with the in here and here.
All right. Well, good luck. If I don't see you in the morning, good luck on the trip. Should have a good time, I hope.
I'll put this somewhere.
You just...
Somehow I'm already at 100 kilometers, but it's because I started so early in the morning.
Right. Well, luckily you don't have far to go. And front rack, so you got your pump there. Nice. Low riders, keep the weight nice and low. You're all set. You're all set for Sumatra. All right. Anyway, good luck with the night, finding a place. And with the ferry ride tomorrow, as I said, I'm jealous.
You can follow, or you can come tomorrow. No?
Yeah, not quite ready for that. Yeah, I wish I could. All right.
Okay, nice to meet you.
Yeah, you too.
Maybe see you tomorrow.
Yeah. Remember the restaurant. Okay. And so that was dinner at Mient's Burger. I'm glad I finally got a chance to check the place out. Had a nice chat with the cyclist from Belgium, as it turns out. And tomorrow he's heading to Sumatra. He's taking the boat across to Tanjung Balai. So it's a lot of fun to chat with him for a little bit. Yeah, as always, feels so nice to be riding a bike again. It had been a long time. Just feels good. And just as a technical note, I've changed the GoPro at the front to a wide field of view. Up until then, it was linear with horizon leveling. And I like having horizon leveling. Oh boy, here we go, trying to cross the road again. But horizon leveling is only available for linear. It doesn't work on a wide field of view. There we go, should be an opening. And we can cross. Oh yeah, I forgot. On this side, there's only a like a wooden plank. I have to walk the plank with my bicycle or carry it across. But hey, let's roll it across. Oh. So that's the end of my little experimental bike ride. Tried to get my kickstand fixed, and the guy basically looked at it and was like, no, I cannot weld. I think he was saying he can't weld anything, but he definitely can weld aluminum. And then Rojak Ayam, that was very good. And then I met the cyclist from Belgium. I want to say Luca, but now I'm starting to feel like that's not really his name. Like I got it wrong or something, but anyway. Yeah, Luca continued cycling along the coast. He's going to look for a campsite on the beaches there. And I thought about going along with him just to help him get set up. But to be honest, I couldn't really help him out very much. I've never camped there. I don't know what the procedure is. And the guy cycled around half the world through former Soviet Republic countries and Tajikistan, countries like that. So I think he can handle Malaysia. He's been on the road for 9 months. I think he can handle finding a place to camp for the night. And then tomorrow at 11 a.m., he'll be on the ferry to Sumatra. I might see him for breakfast because I told him where I'm going to be for breakfast tomorrow morning. I have a restaurant I go to where I can upload videos to YouTube from. So I'm going to go there for breakfast and hang out. And if he can remember the place where it is, maybe he will come, meet up with me. So. And that's it for this little experimental video. And as always, I'll see you in the next one.